Hey guys, Ron Bond, Bondo Build Construction here. I just want to show you a project that we just finished up. We did a dog kennel here, and as you look at it, it looks kind of like your normal concrete slab, but there's a lot more going on underneath this thing that I wanted to show you. We're getting into more and more concrete prep, light excavation work before we pour the slabs. None of the people that I work with end up doing the kind of prep work that I need, so I got myself a mini excavator last year and I've been doing it myself. Here's just Matt and John edging this concrete slab, just knee boarding it and hitting edges and hitting along the drains and stuff. But what I really want to show you in this video is what's underneath this thing, because this thing was a lot of work. It's got a water line buried under there 4 feet deep with a frost-free bib. It's got like 54 feet of trench drain, all the trench drains pitched in the concrete, and it's also pitched from one end of the building to the other because it's a dog kennel, so they want to be able to hose everything down into the drain, and it goes out about 100 feet outside the building to daylight, so they can just drain this thing out. So I just want to, like I said, I wanted to show you what's underneath this stinking thing, what went into it. The concrete was the easy part on this building. Pouring that was a lot easier than everything that went into it. If you guys like this kind of thing, why don't you go ahead and hit the subscribe button to my channel, and if you like this video, hit the like button. Throw me a comment. If there's something that I didn't show you that you want to see, just send me a comment and ask. I'd be glad to put a video together helping people out. Thanks again for watching, guys. So one of the first things we had to do is dig this water line and put this frost-free bib in, and there was a big piece of culvert pipe right there. You'll see it in the picture that we had to bury, so that if they ever needed to get the bib out of there, the frost-free bib, they wouldn't have to jack the concrete up. So it's actually the homeowner there to the right has that culvert pipe right there. He's setting it in place. That frost-free hose bit's going down in there, and I'm trying to dig some of these big concrete chunks out of here. There was an old barn. This was an old barn, and it had some huge pieces of concrete underneath here. And the only thing we could get in here was this little Myanmar excavator. I have my own Myanmar excavator, but it won't fit in there. Mine's a VIO 35. This little guy is a VIO 17, and it was a nice little powerful machine. We rented it, and it got right in this building that was fairly low, and it had a small door in the back. So, I mean, look at the size of this piece of concrete that we pulled out of here with this thing. It's pretty impressive little machine. Definitely recommend it if you got to get in a tight spot, do a lot of digging. We actually thought that we could hand dig this water line at first, but we're glad we didn't try to do that, because there was a lot of concrete and rocks and stuff under here, and it had a lot of hard clay in it. We also dug a lot of the clay and stuff out of the back corner there, kind of track buggy. So what we're doing here is putting the water line in and bedding it. We've already buried the water line. It's in that piece of drain tile there. It's a frost-free hose they wanted in here. This is a dog kennel that we're building here. We had to get that water line in there, and then we put some fine gravel on top of it, and we're tamping it. It lifts. We're going to bring it up every 4 or 5 inches. We'll tamp it. We'll throw some material in there and tamp it. This way you don't get anything settling underneath your concrete. That's real important when you're going to pour concrete over something, and you're putting drains or water lines or anything in there, that you tamp it up and lifts. You don't just want to fill in and then try to pour your concrete over top. Definitely a no-no on that. So that's what we're doing right here. So here, what we're doing now is we've got the water line all buried, and we've moved some of the heavier gravel around, and we're tamping it down, just getting everything packed in there before we start doing our final grading with our real fine material that we got. This barn had some like number 2 stone, number 2 to number 3 stone in it on top, so we kind of spread that around and mixed it with the finer gravel, and we're gonna go ahead and tamp everything, but we're still low on the grade. And this barn has several drains in it because it's a dog kennel, like I said before, so there's several pitches going on here, so we're trying to establish our grade and keep our pitches where they want. So right now everything's low. I'm just going through and tamping it, and then we'll set the drains and try to get things fine-tuned. Tell you what, guys, last year we bought this track buggy. I picked it up used, and I'd rented one a few times, and these things are great. I mean, it's a concrete buggy on tracks. This one's made by Allen. It's an AT16. These things will go anywhere. It's like a mini bulldozer with a bucket on the front, and these things will hold a half a yard of concrete or gravel or whatever you need. And this building, it was perfect for it because you couldn't really get anything in here. I couldn't bring over the Kubota tractor and get it in there. Nothing would fit through the back door. So this thing, we used it to pour the slab, and we used it to prep. It's nice, we can load it. You can either load it with the excavator, or actually the homeowner helped us out here. That's him on, he's got a Coyote tractor, and he wanted to help, so he was loading up the track buggy with his Coyote, and we were bringing the material in there, and it worked out real good. Because we put a lot of material in here, and we took a lot of garbage material out of this building. It had all those big concrete chunks that you see me ripping out of there. Also, it had a lot of clay and rocks and stuff in there. And here's the track buggy, just bringing the material in. You can put it little piles right where you need it. You know, you can't spread it out with it, but boy, it's nice to. Sure beats wheelbarrowing. We've wheelbarrowed stuff for years. This thing saves a lot of work. I got a good deal on it. Bought it used, like I said. And we've just been using it a lot. It's saving us a lot of work this year. So here I am laying out the trench drain. There's a male and a female to these trench drains that we buy, and they just kind of lock together, kind of like a PVC pipe. There's a male and a female, and you just slide them together, and if you give them a little push, they'll kind of hook together and stay together. And we get them all set so that we can put them in place. Before we put them in place, we just locked them all together. So here I am wearing these trench drains together with some tie wire just to hold them together so that we can get them in place and get our pitches set to the drains like we want. We want everything to pitch. Here's the drain all set up. It's got like 1 3/4 inch pitch from one end to the other. It ties into this sewer and drain line, which is buried coming out of the end. Heads along the back of the barn here, and it's all going to get buried. I'm just showing it here, and you can see the T right there where the other one's going to hook into it, and then it runs underneath the barn, and it runs probably another 100 feet to daylight. And this drain is what the homeowner wanted for his dog kennel, so he can put his cages down through there, and he could just wash the concrete floors, and everything's going to run into these trench drains. So it should work out real good. We got good pitches going into these drains. Here we are just fine tuning. Once the drains are set, we can get our grade more fine tuned, so we can just dump a little of this fine gravel around and get it really flat. And here we are putting the final tamp on, and sprinkling a little bit of gravel here and there just to get things perfect, because you don't want to have a big difference in the thickness on these slabs, because it'll be real hard to know how much concrete you need. A 1/2 inch of concrete in a building like this could be 2.5 to 3 yards difference, so you want to make sure you get them real good. So we did a lot of prep work and fine tuning to get this thing just how we wanted it. We got probably 1.5 to 1 3/4 pitch from the top of the slab on the edges into the trench drain. And like I said before, the trench drain actually has about 1 3/4 inch pitch in itself from the front of the building to the back. So there's a lot going on here. Just wanted to show you guys some of the prep work that goes into these slabs that you don't see. Actually the prep work sometimes is a lot harder than the concrete pour.